See, here's what Christmas says. The perfect God came out of a perfect heaven to enter into the mess of this world, and we were reminded this week, were we not, of how messy this world is. But not just the mess of this world, the mess of our lives. God literally wants to get into the mess of our life. Think about God comes into the world as a newborn. Have you ever seen a newborn? I mean, they're pretty. It's pretty if it's yours, kind of. Slimy, smelly. So God comes in like that, and he's not got the private room at St. John's, right? This is like a manger. Try to imagine the smells for a second. Hay, not bad, but what's that hay covered with? Animal smells and what comes out of animals, and that's where, right in the mess. That's Emmanuel. That's God with us. Christmas is personal. Now, this sounds really great because then we go, okay, that's so wonderful and nice and sweet. But, look in verse 24, because every time God shows up, stuff gets messed with. Look in verse 24. When Joseph woke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took his wife, but knew her not until she had given birth to a son, and he called his name Jesus. See, here's the thing about Jesus. He comes into the mess, but then he messes things up a little bit. He messes things up. So Joseph, can you imagine Joseph? Like, Joseph is a guy who probably has a plan for his life, has some ideas, and all of a sudden, his wife, whom he had never had sex with, is pregnant. And so then all of his buddies know she's pregnant, and all the town. Anybody from a small town? Know how that goes, right? Everybody's talking about you. Everybody's, speculating, and so he has to live it. But then God shows up. No. I'm in this. Okay, I won't be able to explain that to other people, but me and God, we're great. Okay, so I've got this revelation. I'll do what you say. But then like put your, it's like, okay, now I've got to raise the God baby. Like, that's what he has to do now. Put yourself in his sandals. This is crazy talk. Like, this is slightly disruptive. Right? And this is the way Jesus comes in. He is disruptive at conception as a baby. And then he grows up, right? And so he disrupts the family from the beginning. Then his first miracle, he disrupts a party, right? Party's going down. He brings in the good wine. It starts. So here's the principle. Like he will mess with you, but it's better if he does. The party gets better, right? He makes it better. Now, it doesn't always seem like it at the time because you've got the disciples minding their own business, fishing, collecting taxes, campaigning for their political candidate, and all of a sudden she's like, all that's great, lay it all down, follow me. Pretty disruptive, right? Pretty disruptive to the religious authorities. You guys, thanks for your ministries, pastors and priests, but let me go ahead and tell you what God thinks of you. You're snakes and you're sons of hell. Very disruptive. His life is disruptive because what he did is he disrupted the idea that no one could be perfect. He was. His death was disruptive for his disciples because they thought he was going to set up a political kingdom and that God existed for their political party and that was what was going to, change the whole world. And then he died. But then his resurrection, and that's important for us at all times, but especially this week, his resurrection disrupted the idea that death was final. Jesus disrupts. Jesus interrupts. If you're going to worship God, you have to be interrupted by God.